June Thomson, Bill Laggatuta, Christopher Nance, weather, and Fred Roggin, Sunday Night Sports. Channel 4 News, Nightside, #1 in Southern California.
And good evening, everyone. At the top of our news, negotiations to end the Los Angeles teacher strike appear to have taken a step backwards tonight. Teachers union representatives waited 6 hours for the school district people to show up for tonight's session. When they finally did, it was over almost as soon as it began. A visibly angry Wayne Johnson stormed out of the Hotel Bonaventure, charging the school board with insincerity.
It's been a waste of time. They've been very dishonest in all of their proposals. So their money offer is exactly the same, and their offer on school-based management, their offer on return of doc pay, their offer on elementary supervision, they're not acceptable. They're totally unacceptable. And
I feel very, very, very sorry and sad that an offer that's the best in the nation cannot be accepted. And I sincerely hope that many teachers understand that we have done our personal best and that we ask them to return to their classrooms tomorrow morning.
Johnson says he remains available for more talks, although not tonight. So tomorrow will be day 8 of the Los Angeles teacher strike. Bill.
Well, there's a report tonight that Mayor Tom Bradley probably would not face criminal charges in connection with the investigation into his financial dealings with 2 Los Angeles banks. The LA Times quotes legal experts as saying that if any legal problem arises at all, it would most likely involve a civil suit for conflict of interest. The possible action would carry a maximum fine of $2,000, according to the report. Both sides of the abortion debate were out in force in Westwood today to hear the Supreme Court justice who authored Roe versus Wade. Phil Schuman has details tonight.
The protests are a now familiar sight in Southern California. On one side, Operation Rescue, the militant religious anti-abortionists. On the other side, the pro-choice advocates, equally determined to be heard. The reason for today's protests, Supreme Court Justice Harry Blackmun's commencement address to the UCLA Law School. He authored the 1973 Supreme Court opinion that said abortion was a constitutional right.
It is a great responsibility, and sometimes it's a depressing one, to be called upon to judge a person or to judge between persons.
Justice Blackmun and his colleagues are expected to make their decision on the challenge to Roe versus Wade sometime this summer. Legal experts who've studied this expect that the court will not overturn Roe versus Wade, but rather modify the ruling so that states will have more control over abortions. Phil Schuman, Channel 4 News, Westwood.
Former LA police officer Steven Homick has been ordered to die by lethal injection for killing a Las Vegas oil heiress and 2 others in 1985. That verdict delivered by a jury in Las Vegas today. Homick is also a suspect in the so-called ninja murder case of a couple in Brentwood 4 years ago. The standoff continues in China, where rumored deadlines have come and gone without incident for the expected military sweep of Tiananmen Square. Student activists continue to occupy the square in their protest for freedom. The demonstrators wore makeshift gas masks for the attack they thought would come. Many of them consider it a victory they made it through the night without an army crackdown. There is tension and fear in China's capital city as the 3rd day of martial law begins. Residents are telling soldiers to take it easy on them. Even ordinary citizens are joining the movement. Some have set up barricades and are manning roadblocks to keep the army at bay. The goal of this growing 9-day-old protest, again, is the overthrow of the communist government and a quest for freedom.
What is happening in Beijing is generating sympathy around the world. Protests are spreading. For example, in Hong Kong, 1 million people, 1/6 of the population, joined the call for freedom in China. It was the largest political rally ever held in the British colony. The people there are paying close attention to what happens, of course, because Hong Kong reverts from British rule to Chinese rule in the year 1997. In Tokyo, Japan, several thousand Chinese students studying in that country marched downtown to protest the declaration of martial law in Beijing. A Japanese television network reports Chinese students also marched in at least 4 other cities there. Here in America, President Bush is calling on China's leaders to avoid bloodshed in dealing with the protesters. He made his comments during a joint news conference with President Mitterrand of France.
And I would urge the government to be as forthcoming as possible in order to see more democratization and to see a peaceful resolution of this matter.
And now in other news, the Magellan space probe completed a critical course change today, putting it on target for the 1990 encounter with Venus. The craft, which was launched from the Atlanta Space Shuttle May 4th, fired its 8 rocket thrusters on command for 5.6 seconds, successfully nudging it on a path for Venus.
A 2-hour ordeal is over tonight for a woman who got stuck in a 20-foot deep construction hole on Beverly Boulevard. Matt Stevens was there when they pulled her out.
Firefighters found a construction area behind the Beverly Catalina car wash.
They've dropped approximately a 50-foot steel pipe that's 4 feet in diameter down into the ground. About 20 feet underneath the ground, the pipe is extended. There's about 30 feet above the ground that the pipe is extended above there.
Down inside, between the pipe and the dirt, 22-year-old Cookie Manzanarell. Firefighters said she had crawled in after a red ball. They cut away part of the concrete around the pipe, then called for the smallest member of the rescue team, George Perez.
I just made my way down and made my way sideways and got a hold of her, and we just passed some straps that I had around my hand under her hand. The firefighters worked me up, and then they eventually got her up.
After a 2-hour ordeal, the woman was finally lifted to safety. Perez would say later she was very lucky. Had she slipped down another few feet, she probably would have drowned in about 10 feet of water. Manzanarell was taken to a nearby hospital, but appeared to be uninjured. Matt Stevens, Channel 4 News, Hancock Park.
Well, the Monday weather is next, plus what time is quail time, and why are the numbers on this watch so confusing? We'll have the story for you as we continue.
But first, Fred is in the newsroom with a preview of tonight's Sunday Night Sports. Fred.
All right, June and Bill, thanks very much. It's true, the calls have been coming in all day. Tonight is the big Hall of Shame night. Get yourself ready. This has been a crazy day in sports. We had a bench-clearing brawl in the pits at the auto race, sequenced in the ring, the NBA's big spin, plus an underground tape about people that hate L.A. And yes, the Hall of Shame of our decade later. Get ready for Sunday Night Sports.
It's never occurred to Nurse Barb Votel that each of these pills is perfectly consistent because of Honeywell control technology. But then if she had to think about it, we wouldn't be doing our job. Honeywell, helping you control your world.
My kids would like me to have a station wagon. My dog would like me to have a station wagon. And the man at the hardware store would love it. But personally, I'm not interested in a big, boxy, clumsy thing I have to steer around. That's why I love this Taurus. Isn't it gorgeous? Hi, guys. You like your new station wagon, don't you?
With Hertz's low prices, you could see the U.S. for a song, like California for just $119 a week.
California, here I come.
And Hawaii for just $99 a week.
Aloha.
Or Florida for just $89 a week.
Moon over Miami.
And for about $50, those guys can get some singing lessons.
How can a small business get more business?
So, making any money?
Well, we're in the black. We'd get a lot more jobs if we could just do business another 50 miles out.
Sure, but what's going to make people out there bid us?
They could call us on a service area 800 number. It'd be easier.
How much that?
It's a new 800 service Pacific Bell set up to cover smaller areas of California.
Okay, let's check it out.
For a service area 800 number, your best call is to call on us, Pacific Bell. 1/3 are born each year.
You must live with the consequences of your choices.
Tiny, involuntary drug addicts.
Yeah, I knew, but I couldn't quit.
This is child abuse, but in utero.
Fighting for their lives, for the rest of their lives.
They're a new learning disability.
At what cost?
There'll be a much greater burden on society later on.
Steve Gendel shows you the dedicated people determined to help babies born hooked. Starting Monday at 4.
A three-way split has been declared for last night's lotto drawing. The jackpot was worth a little more than $6 million. The 3 winning tickets were bought in Los Angeles, La Habra, and Pico Rivera.
All righty, now here's Christopher. Tell us about our week ahead. Good?
It should be pretty good. The folks along the coast, though, are going to have that battle with the fog on and off all throughout the week, but everywhere else, it's going to be nice. Let's go outside. Let's go outside. This is our little condor. Everybody said, oh, he's so cute. Let's show him one more time being born. Cute little rascal. Isn't he something? That's amazing. Life. These things were extinct a short while ago, and now we're just popping one on the air every week. Let's go and put some numbers up there now. 78 degrees was our high today. 58 was our low. Right now in the downtown area, it is 63 condor degrees. Barometer at 29.98 inches. Our humidity has risen to 58%. Winds are out of the southwest at 12 miles an hour. I like the hairdo on the bird. Let's take a look. This is the forecast map for tomorrow. Low pressure is finally moving out, so the New England states will have another great day. They had a good day today, but rain showers move through. The only part that's going to be receiving rain is like the state of Maine. Everywhere else should be pretty nice. A few clouds. Midwest sunny as well. Warm air and humid in the southeast. We're going to continue to see that trend for the next few days as thunderstorms from warm air coming up mixing with cold air are going to be triggered throughout that area. Now, checking out the southwest, we're going to continue to see hot temperatures. Palm Springs was the record high for today and yesterday for the nation at 108 and 107 degrees. More of the heat will continue from the northern plains all the way down into the Rockies. Sunny and dry there. Low pressure coming in off the Pacific Northwest is going to bring in a new storm. Temperatures, well, check this out. This is the way it's going to be. Chicago, warm up to high of 74. New York, the Big Apple, 82 will be the high. Boston will be in the upper 70s tomorrow. Miami at 91 degrees. Omaha at 81 degrees. And Oklahoma City at 91 for a high. 106 will be the high in Phoenix. We'll have a high of 78 degrees. And in the Pacific Northwest, cloudy skies will keep them down in the 60s. Moving on, as we put the maps into motion, you can see how this low-pressure system starts to develop in the Pacific Northwest, bringing rain showers to that area, and how this system starts to move on up, bringing us some warm, moist air out of the south. No big change as far as weather patterns, though, because most of this moisture will go into the central or the northern part of the state. As far as conditions, well, a sunny week ahead. Warm air will continue to give us nice conditions. Here's the forecast now. Alhambra will have nice weather. We're going to see some clouds rolling in right now along the beach areas, but the interior is going to be pretty good. And the forecast for tomorrow, well, it looks like this. Let's drop, Mr. Director, surf and boating and go right on into the forecast for tonight. I didn't mean to throw you a curve there. Here's the forecast for tomorrow. Arrowhead will have a high of 70 degrees. The high desert, 98 degrees. The low desert, 108. And here's the forecast for tonight. Mostly clear, lots of moonlight, except along the coastline where the fog is already starting to roll in. Tomorrow, morning clouds and then mostly sunny skies, 78 for the high. And then Tuesday, high clouds. Wednesday, partly cloudy. And by Thursday, back to fair and mild as we go back down on the old thermometer. But that's it. See you tomorrow morning.
Very good.
Thanks, Christopher.
Thank you, Chris. Well, first it was Mickey Mouse, then it was Spiro Agnew, and now 2 stockbrokers in Thousand Oaks are marketing a watch to honor the current vice president, along with Dan Quayle, marketing a watch to honor the current vice president. Along with Dan Quayle's picture, the watch features numbers which are scrambled around. The creator said that because Quayle seems to be in a state of confusion. Those are his words. The Dan Quayle watch sells for $30 and is ideal if you're just a heartbeat away from anything.
Yes, I liked it up to that last part, $30. No. I don't know, $30 for Dan Quayle? What a deal. Anyway, that's it for us. Remember to stay tuned for Sunday Night Sports coming up next.
It can happen to any family.
Just take him.
No! It happened to Steven.
Oh, my God.
Based on the real-life story.
I know my first name is Steven.
Monday.
The Movado Museum watch. The dial design chosen by the Museum of Modern Art for their permanent collection. The Black Sapphire Museum watch. A futuristic interpretation of the classic. The Museum watch. The Black Sapphire Museum watch from Movado. Available at Slavitz.
You are what you eat. What's true for man is true for machines. The right diet can make a difference. For power and performance, drive your engine clean with Mobile Super Unleaded Plus. Health food for cars. Get a free 16-ounce bottle of Pepsi with every fill-up of 8 gallons or more of Mobile Super Unleaded Plus.
This is where we started. A clean sheet of paper. No boundaries. No rules. No preconceived ideas. Just a desire to build the best sports car in the world. A car for one driver in 1,000. A car destined to leave its mark. The new Z from Nissan.
Okay, listen up. After some serious number crunching and heavy market research, I'm happy to report I got the best summer vacation deal. Yeah! Us kids fly for $1 with our parents on Continental Tuesday and Wednesday. All summer. Half price the rest of the week. And what else? We gotta move fast. We gotta buy the tickets before May 26th. Okay? So you know what to do. Yeah!
This is Fred Roggin. On Sunday Night Sports, the shots you want, you need, you crave, you love, you demand, you expect, you yearn for, you dream of, you fantasize about, you can't live without. You want them, you got them. Hall of Shame Shots of the Decade, Part 1. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, set your VCRs tonight. Hall of Shame Shots of the Decade, Part 1 on the Sunday Night Sports. That was pretty exciting, wasn't it?
2 jobs, 2 kids, too much. At Hilton, we have just what you need. 2 days just for the 2 of you. The Hilton Bounce Back Weekend. To reserve yours, call 1-800-HILTON. Unfortunately, there's nothing new from Lincoln right now. Nothing new from Mercedes or Jaguar. Fortunately, Cadillac has something new right now. The 1989 Eldorado Special Edition with a full cabriolet roof, leather seating areas, aluminum alloy wheels, and more. Fortunately, if you take delivery of the Eldorado Special Edition by May 31st, you can save up to $2,995.
Southern California. And since 1980, over 100 have died.
The first day I moved in, I seen somebody get shot.
But last year, the killing stopped. Thanks to parents, police, and gang veterans.
I don't want to see no of you Watos getting hurt.
How did they do it? Could it work for other neighborhoods? Joe Rico reports. Gangs keeping the peace. Starting Monday on the Channel 4 News at 5.
We will never throw in the towel.
I suppose you were expecting someone else.
For an unprecedented 4th consecutive year, the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences has awarded Sunday Night Sports the Emmy for Excellence. Channel 4 Sports is honored.
Good evening, everybody. We've got a jam-packed show tonight, so much to show, so little time to show it. So let's get started in Montreal, Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And now, who is that guy in the middle of the crowd? It looks like ex-Canadian Chris Nyland. Hey, Chris? Yeah, I thought it was you. Second period, no score. Canadians in white. Bobby Smith tried the pass. Doug Gilmour intercepted, broke in on Patrick Roy, and watch beat him high on the glove side. Canadian coach Pat Burns doing the slow burn. Still in the second period, Al McGinnis fired from just inside the blue line. Roy the save, but Joey Mullen off to the side. Batted home the rebound, 2-0 Calgary. And this is how the Flames bench reacted. Calgary wanted 4-2 to tie the series at 2 apiece. In the NBA playoffs, first they beat the Cavs, then they beat the Knicks, and today they handed the Pistons their first loss of the playoffs. These guys from Chicago may be for real, and that's no Bulls. Now, the Pistons may be bad to the bone, but today they were awful on the court. First half, Bulls in red on the run. Greg Hodges to Scottie Pippen. His shot was off. Look at Bill Cartwright here. Stuck up his hand and tipped in the shot. Bulls up 48-24. While everything went right for the Bulls, nothing went right for the Pistons. Long, tall Spider Sally stuck in his own web, rejected by the rim, got his rim bound and missed again. Oh, my aching head. Chuck, don't upcheck. Second half now, just call him Michael. He spins one way, he spins another way. 32 for Mr. Jordan today. Now, the bad boys were able to come back from 24 down, then they were collared. Dennis Rodman moved baseline. Charles Davis going with the headlock defense. As Pistons games go, this was pretty tame. It got down to towel-biting time, Bulls leading 84-83. Craig Hodges with the three-pointer. Doug Collins says, men, let's get out of here. Bulls win game 1, 94-88. Now, today in New York, it was time for the NBA's Big Spin, the annual lottery, and that means the Clippers had yet another chance to strike it rich. Selections to date: Benoit Benjamin, the man that showed up with 2 left shoes his rookie year; Reggie Williams, who at one point this season refused to play; and Danny Manning, who was trying to come back from a serious knee injury. Around and around the big drum went. Representatives from 9 clubs sat at the big table and tensely waited. Meantime, back in L.A., Donald Sterling proving he has enough money to pay anybody through a party for 500 people. Number of stars and celebrities were on hand for the big event. Then Don's face told the story. The Clippers were in the final 2, but Sacramento came up with the first pick. Greg Lukenbill, obviously not sure who he is going to pick yet. It's not a total loss, though. The Clippers still have the second pick. So now, Don, what should we do?
So if you're with a fabulous lady or a fabulous man, sit down and relax the afternoon. If you're not, grab the closest one to you and spend the afternoon with them.
I like his style. I love his style. Sacramento may take Glenn Rice. Clippers would have a shot at Danny Ferry, Sean Elliott, or maybe trade the pick to Portland for Clyde Drexler. Lakers and Suns don't play again until Tuesday, but Lakers, I hope you are watching tonight, because we have acquired an underground tape from Phoenix called We Hate L.A. Watch this and get mad.
Look at that team. Look at that big bald guy with the goggles. Hey, Kareem. Now look at the Suns. Ain't nothing like them nowhere. Let's go, Suns. Let's go, Suns. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We hate him. Magic Johnson. We hate him. Jack Nicholson. Yeah, he's all right. L.A. Lakers. We hate him. We hate him. We hate him. We hate L.A. We hate him. We hate L.A. We hate him. We hate L.A. We hate it.
An underground tape we have acquired. We're going to take our first break, and when we come back, it's time to dress up and run.
Channel 4 Sports is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world.
Compromise is self-defeating, especially with luxury cars. So don't compromise. See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Test drive the 300E. You'll see why one expert called it the finest four-door sedan ever built. And you won't compromise on the important things, like customer care and resale value. The 300E. Take a look at one now.
Replacing your windows with Anderson windows is one of the best things you can do for your home.
Come home.
Invest in Anderson windows for your home, and it'll always show its appreciation. Get this 84-page book of window ideas at these Anderson dealers.
Lamar Hardwood and Door, Clearview Products, Fisher Lumber, turn of the century.
Heineken, Amstel Light.